I kept calling that pink Power Ranger the blue Power Ranger.
Oh no!
And so I was told my mom, like, I'd want the blue Power Ranger. So she would bring me the blue Power Ranger. She'll bring me Billy Cranston. I'm like, I don't want this piece of shit. So I threw it on the ground. Yo, what is up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Dude, You Never Told Me, a weekly show where I get to talk to my three best friends. What's up, guys? Say hello.
Me first. I'm just kidding. Right before this, I was like, who goes first? And I was like, Alex, you go first. But not this time. I'll go first.
Go for it, dog.
Hey, everybody. It's Devante. Welcome to another episode of Dude, You Never Told Me. We're switching things up tonight. So get ready for the fun.
Hey, everybody. It's Alex. I hope we're all having a good night so far.
Yeah, indeed. I'm having a good night. And as Devante said, we are switching it up today. If you've been following our socials, you may have realized that we did not do an announcement of what we're going to be talking about this week. And that's kind of the new kind of like format we're going to be pivoting to as our show evolves. Like we're moving away from a predetermined topic and just move into something more just chatting, just to really highlight our friendship. You know, we've been friends for 10 years now, and so let's put that friendship to good use, take advantage of that.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better myself, Anthony.
Yes. So, but I mean, as we get into the episode, I kind of want to ask, how was y'all's week? I know we hung out like last weekend, but like, what you been up to?
Of you guys.
It's always a good weekend when I get to see you guys.
I will say I summed up my concert. It was a really good concert. I love the music. I mean, it's an artist.
Who'd you go watch?
Her name is MXM Tunes. That's the artist I went to see. She got popular during kind of like the pandemic. She's been doing music for the past like 7 years or so. But
wait, what kind of genre?
Yeah. I say indie pop. It's indie like pop? Not it's she's like middle, I guess, like popularity enough to get
anything that we would know.
Probably not.
Okay.
Yeah, y'all probably not know her. But so she has an opener, and as soon as the opener gets, I've never heard the opener in my entire life. The opener, her name is Nep. I've never heard of her in my entire life. I get to, I'm watching the show, and just Nep's energy feels very like young. Like she felt like she's probably in, at least teens or 20s.
Like energetic young.
Yeah. So she's an opener, like so she's not like super big. So she's kind of giddy. She's excited. She's really happy.
Is she like Sabrina Carpenter type of giddy, or is she like
less like Sabrina Carpenter? I think.
Okay.
I think imagine if you just got your big break kind of giddiness, where you're nervous, you're shy. She can't remember some of the lyrics to her words. She's giving her best shot. She's a good singer. She has very mature topic songs. But as she's performing, I'm like, wow, like she seems young. She seems like young. Mm-hmm. And then she was like, anyone here in college? And everyone like, woo, all the college kids are like, yeah, I'm in college. Man. Raise your hands. She's like, yeah, I'm in college too. What a drag. I was like, dang, you're in college? This makes sense now.
Wow.
But like,
her younger than Anthony, that's for sure.
Yeah. She's like, we're in college now. She's like, yeah, it's such a drag. And then she was like, I'm also only 20 years old. I'm like, oh my God, only 20 years old. I'm approaching the big 30. And so I was like, shit, I feel old. Just not, dude. It's just like old enough for the songs that she's singing about, because it's very relatable topics. She sings about being cheated on. She sings about just wanting to be loved. Very mature topics. But just her energy,
Taylor Swift
is very much like, hey,
does sound like Taylor Swift.
Yeah, it's. I'm not the best song person, so I can't tell who's a better songwriter, but her sound is it's like a more sadder tone, kind of like more. I would say probably more folklore energy. Feels? Yeah, there's literally a song where she sings where she just wants to be loved like a cup of soup. That's all she wants.
Like a cup of soup.
Yeah, that's all she wants.
I want a cup of soup after a hangover.
Anyway, so she's like, she's like, shout out to being 20. I'm like, oh my God, I feel old. Oh. So like her set ends. I'm like, dang. I felt very age checked. It was just like because everyone around me, they didn't seem like, that young, but they definitely seemed college. Because like the venue, whenever you're 21, they give you like a green wristband so you can buy alcohol.
You're
Yeah.
getting called out in front of everybody. It's like everybody
I'm not
around you is
getting
like,
called
I'm
out.
in college,
Yeah,
you know? And
it
then
was-
Anthony's like,
It was very much an energy of like, wow, there's a
No.
lot of like college kids in here. And so
You know
like,
what's
damn,
funny?
what's
Imagine
up?
you're that like 19-year-old college kid and you have a wristband on and the guards, security guards are looking at like, I don't know if you're actually 21, ma'am or sir.
You get carded. But I mean, if you get carded at the door when you enter the venue, so that means your fake. If you
Right.
got a wristband, it means your fake ID passed that check.
mm,
And so the bartender, they're not
Right,
going to
right.
card you. Like they didn't card me. They just look at my wristband and say, "Hey, this guy. One, he's a wristband. Two, he looks over 21 years old. This man looks like he's in his like 30s."
hey, you got to give
Wait.
us some credit. I feel like all three of us look pretty young here.
Yeah.
I
so.
gotta ask you, Anthony,
What's up?
did you ever have a fake?
I did not have a fake. I had other
did
friends
not?
with fake.
Okay.
They bought.
I
my
never
alcohol
had one
for
either.
me.
What about you, Devante?
I had one.
You had one?
Never
You
used
did?
it. Never
Wait.
used it.
Wait. Tell me more. I'm curious. So
What
wait,
do you
you,
mean?
you
Wait,
got
yeah, what do
one.
you mean?
You
It's
got
a fake.
You got one, but you never used it. Like what?
I
Why'd you
never
get it if
used
you're never gonna use it?
Okay, my friend, he wanted a backup person just in case something were to happen, but nothing ever happened because he was able to always purchase the liquor. And so for me, I was like, I'll have it just in case. It's cool to have, you know, at the time. I'm young. I'm like, dang, it's cool to have a fake ID.
Right.
And then the law, you know, will get you one day. But I'm over age now, so it doesn't matter. But
Oh,
I never had to use it, and then I snipped it, and then
Of
but
course.
the address is always Hawaii.
Hawaii.
That's the easiest one.
Lovin'.
Because they're not
Your
gonna
name
check,
McLovin?
you know.
Yeah.
And then you
That's right.
memorize the address, and yeah, you just go from there.
See, for
Okay.
me and my friends, we had like one store. It was owned by like a Korean guy. He never like we showed him our the fake, and he never questioned it.
I thought you
Yeah.
didn't have a fake.
I didn't have a fake, but my friends did. And so, but like we
Oh,
we
okay.
always buy liquor from this one store because you know the guy would just he was nice. Maybe he like, you know, we're all Asian, and so he's like, yeah, Asian kids, it's fine. I'm gonna let them buy their extra bottle of soju. It's fine.
Yeah.
I see.
See, we never had a fake, but we had a roommate. His name was. He was from I think it was Nigeria. He was a really cool dude. I remember he was studying to take the bar because he wanted to be a lawyer, and we would just ask, "Yo, dude, do you mind hooking us up with buying us some liquor like next door?" Like we had a liquor store, it was just two houses down, and it was just like a gas station with a liquor store tied into it. It's called Robbie's. Love that place. And man, it was a good time.
I bet it was.
Lobbies.
Yeah, man.
Me getting age checked by like at a concert by like these 20-year-olds is fine. But we get to the main act. We get to MXN tunes.
The rest of the concert.
And her songs, I've listened to her songs for the past like 4 years now. I thoroughly enjoy it a lot. But then she goes like, you know, oh, my birthday's tomorrow. I'm like, oh, cool, yay, happy birthday.
Hey,
It's like,
you didn't get her a present? How
It-
dare you?
man, my tickets were her present. It's money. It's money right
Hey,
there.
her presence was her present to y'all.
Did you get her any souvenirs?
No. Do you think I know this person? Do you think I just like casually walk up to them? Hey, I know you.
Dude, you didn't get
here's
VIP
something?"
section? I can't
Not.
believe you.
This doesn't. I don't think this does VIP section.
I'm
But
starting to
anyways,
question your Riz, sir.
my Riz. I am married, good sir. I can't just go to like a random singer and be like, "Hey, here's a souvenir from a not creepy person."
I hope not. I hope that's not how you do it.
Did somebody get her something though?
Yeah, it's just really sweet. It's like her mom showed up to because her birthday was the next day, so her
Oh.
mom showed up to her concert, and she's from Northern California, so her mom flew in, and we all sing her happy birthday. But they're like people who are like diehard fans, so they've known her since like her SoundCloud days. But it was her birthday, and guess how old she turned?
Probably younger than us.
Okay.
26.
26. What's your guess, Alex?
23.
23. Alex is the closest without going
Oh my.
over. 24. She turned
Oh.
24, and then she was like, "Who here else is 24 years old?" And like, you know, several dozen hands pop up as they're 24 years old. Like, damn, I'm like approaching my 30s. I'm like, damn, I feel old in a weirdest way. Like, it wasn't, you know, it wasn't that like, you know, someone asked for my age, and then I had to say, "Oh yeah, I'm in like my deep 40s going to like this concert." It was just like people just
Right.
felt the young energy, and it's kind of crazy because like, you know, if she's 24 years old, that means she was born in 2000, and that just kind of gave me like a mile, like, you know, age check essentially. And so that's kind of what I want to talk about is just like, growing up
man.
and just like feeling, not really feeling your age, but like noticing that there is a difference between me and like the younger generations.
Yeah.
Definitely. There is.
I feel
I'll
like
say so.
Boom,
I'll be a
growing up.
forever kid though, you know?
Well,
Like
yeah,
I'll be more
mentally.
mature, I'll be more older, obviously physically and all that, but I still love like doing all the stuff when we were younger. I still think that stuff's fun. Maybe not all of it, but a good chunk.
but how
All right.
long do you think you'll like keep it up, or do you think it's like a forever keeping it up?
I don't know. How long do you guys want to keep having game nights for the rest of our lives?
I don't
For
know.
the rest of our lives.
For the rest of,
There you go. So then I guess till the day I die.
But eventually, we're gonna be changing what games we play. Like, I can't imagine we'll be in our
That's true.
40s playing League all the time.
Yeah, we'll
So
probably
like,
play like
that means
board
our
games or
our
something.
game choices is growing up just like us.
We'll see.
No.
It depends. Devante's not into shooters, so I can't play any of those with
I
him.
actually wouldn't be surprised if we went back to like digital Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah,
Hey,
I can see that.
Yeah, it's
I've got
just a
I've got
super
Master
chill.
Duel.
Yeah, I mean everyone does. It's free to play. But it's just a chill kind of game to like to play on like our off time. Like we have a 30-minute window. Like we're not too tired. We'll just like hop on and play some Yu-Gi-Oh and whatnot.
Yeah.
I can see that. But I think
Makes sense.
overall, wait, we have to preface. We have to tell how old we are. We keep on saying younger generation, younger generation. These guys
We'll,
probably
we'll
think we're
just
young.
let them guess. Just let them guess. We don't need to. We don't need to take the.
I mean, I've already alluded
curtain
it
off.
quite a bit. I'm approaching my 30s, and then I'm getting the big zero. So
Oh man.
we're in our late 20s. That's fun era. And you know what they say, some people like, it's like the generation changes where like in the past, like your 20s was considered like some of your like your quote unquote peak time. But now a lot of people are saying like, oh, 30s are the new 20s. Where the human lifespan is increasing.
heard
And
that.
so like, is
That's
that
true.
going to shift where we consider is like your peak time and stuff like that?
Yeah.
I feel like it's more shifting from the 20s to the 30s. Like
Yeah.
people are, getting married. Like, I mean, we got married early, but people are getting married a little later in life, having kids later in life. And so I have heard that sentiment of 30s is the new 20
20s.
because of that.
So when will
You know-
be the 40s is the new 20s?
That would never happen. I think 30s is where it stops.
How does the phrase go? 30, flirty, and thriving.
30, flirty, and thriving. Why the 30s are the best years of your life.
30,
Wow.
flirty, and thriving. I don't think
Will
I've ever
be-
heard that phrase.
You've
Before
never
we
heard
get
that?
No.
It's from the movie 13 going on 30, I think is the name. I'd have to ask
I know that
Chelsea
movie
later.
exists. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm,
I'm sure your wife knows. Michelle should know.
I just think of a Dirty 30, or like the
Dirty
How Much, or
30.
the How Much
30.
Mother episode where Ted turns 30.
30
Oh,
30
man.
is like your birthday. You
Yeah.
have like a huge birthday celebration each 10 years, each decade.
Yeah. But yeah, have you guys ever felt like age checked by someone before? Even older generation
definitely.
too.
All
Like-
the time, dude. Going to the gym, there's this. Oh man, I have a story. So there's this kid, and this kid is like 15 years old, and he's like jacked. Like this kid is jacked, and I see him all the time. So I was just like, hey, I just introduced myself, and he introduced himself, and he's like, yeah, man, like I'm still in high school, and I'm like, what? I mean, I could tell he's a young guy. Like I thought he'd be like, either freshman in in college or something, but this guy's like high school, and he's like super jacked. He's like, I'm about to go into
Is he short?
a muscle building. Yeah, he's kind of short. He's like, I'm about to go into a muscle building competition, like 220 or
Whoa.
whatever. Yeah, like he's
In
like
high
serious about this.
school?
Yeah, in high school.
Damn.
And
like
I'm
not
like,
in college, yeah, but like high school.
yeah, when I talk to
wild.
him, it makes me feel like I'm like, in high school, I was just playing sports. This man's over here entering bodybuilder competitions, And then now I'm like, I mean, I know I'm more bigger than
we
I
had
was in
guys
high
on our
school,
team
but-
that did that, right?
Oh, there was? That went to
Yeah.
bodybuilding?
Oh yeah, I could
Oh.
list a few names, but I
Competitions?
don't know if I should out them right now or
You
not.
should not. Definitely
Okay.
not out on.
I didn't know that.
I
Were
can
they
say
also
first
short?
names if you want. It was
No,
a
you don't
lot
have
of
to
the
say it.
linemen. It was a lot of the linemen, if that helps. Like you can probably imagine who I'm thinking of.
Oh,
Yeah.
wasn't that for it wasn't like bodybuilding. I thought it was for a powerlifting competition.
Yeah, is that
I
not
mean, I feel
similar or is
that's
that different?
similar. Power.
Oh.
If it's not like a high school competition, then I would say it's
No, it's
different.
like he's like going to state. Like he's trying to
Yeah.
go to state and then like compete on stage.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see, like where they do the fake spray tans and
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly. Yeah,
Probably.
it's not like
Okay.
they're lifting in front of everybody. Like they're already jacked, and then like they're
Mm,
posing and stuff.
mm.
And so like that guy, every time I see him, I'm like, okay, I'm feeling my age a bit, you know. Not that I'm slacking or anything, but
Right,
I'm
but it's
like,
just like, you know, oh, at 15, you're like, there's no way I was that
Yeah.
strong at 15.
what it's like to be young again, you know.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I
well,
actually had a roommate in college, different roommate from the other one. His ex, she did that one summer. Like she had been working out and
Nice.
yeah.
oh, shit, bodybuilder.
Yeah, I had a few friends. They were on
She
the
got fake
the
tan and all.
powerlifting team at Austin, at UT Austin.
Mm.
They would do powerlifting competitions. But like, is it true that if you work out too early, you actually stunt your growth?
Yes. I told him that I feel like he just might because he's taking all these supplements and stuff, and he's still growing,
Yeah.
and so that's
Actually
why I
didn't
was
know
like,
I wonder if it's worth it.
yeah, I was like, be careful.
Hey man,
But I mean, his parents are tall enough.
we're
he
in the
said,
era
so I
of being
think he still
short
has a couple-
king, so he's just gonna be a short king. So
Small power,
still
small
a king, even though he's a short king.
You
Yeah.
know, I don't know if this is bad to say or not, but I really like watching like when they have like short people fight on TV. It's always fun.
like midget wrestling.
Yeah, it's like
Okay,
legit.
okay, I've seen that. It's like WWE but for midgets.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
it always cracks me up.
It looks like they're not even hitting each other, but I'm sure it hurts.
Yeah, yeah.
This
Yeah,
is a
like
face of
WWE.
judgment right now, by the way.
Anthony
Oh,
lives on
yeah?
the block, everybody, so some
Wait.
of these things might go over his
Do y'all watch WWE at all?
I do not.
dude.
Okay.
Growing
I
up, I
don't-
watched WWE all the time.
Wait, really?
Oh
I
yeah,
didn't know that about you actually.
I stopped watching it after college when I didn't have cable.
Really?
Mm.
So I don't watch it either, but I've been seeing this thing on TikTok popping up a lot about this guy called Dominic Mysterio and his dad, Rey Mysterio. And like it's just all I see, and I've just been following this whole like storyline, and I'm like, wow, this thing is so fake, but I love it. It looks so like just entertaining to watch.
Yeah,
Like I can see
that's-
why people
that's
watch this
wrestling.
now.
I used to think wrestling was like for real. But then I started talking to people who are actually fans of wrestling. They're like, no, it's like all fake. There's like a storyline. It's like the MCU before the MCU was a thing. There's
Pretty
like
much.
an actual
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
concrete
Mhm.
thing. And that's really cool.
The storylines, dude, on WWE. It's like worldwide entertainment. WWE. That's what it is.
That's
Worldwide
That's where The Rock
entertainment.
started out, right?
That's
think
where The
so.
Rock started
Rock,
out.
John
John
Cena.
Cena. By the
John
way, John
Cena,
Cena. He's
Is
my,
it Dave
he's my
Bautista?
number one wrestler.
Right?
He's your what?
Batista. John Cena is my number one wrestler. He's actually retiring next year.
John Cena.
So he just announced it like last week.
yeah,
He was still wrestling?
yeah,
Yeah.
He did a small
He's in
little
and out.
comeback thing, just his popularity.
I
He's
knew The
lost a
Rock
lot
came
of-
back.
Like muscle mass though.
Yeah, man, he's
Yeah.
being a movie actor. He's a movie star.
Yeah, he followed literally The Rock's shoes on that. I mean, yeah.
But
It was
yeah,
another.
Definitely.
Wasn't there like
there's a lot of people who came
I've-
from
and
WWE to movies.
yeah, but I think there's an actress who, well, I don't know if she's an actress, but I at least saw her in like one of the Fast and Furious movies. Ronda Rousey, I think is her
Sure.
name. Was she
Was-
WWE?
Was
no,
it
she's
WWE?
MM, I think
Yeah.
the MMA. But she
No,
Oh,
was,
MMA.
I thought she did do a wrestling stint for a little bit.
but she okay, so she didn't start on WWE. I think they just featured her on WWE
they
for
brought
the
her in.
Yeah.
for the cloud and entertainment aspect of it, and then they involved MMA fighters, and I think that's where she like came in. Because Brock Lesnar, he wasn't WWE. I think he was MMA, or he was like some type of like actual fighting, and then they added him to the roster. All these are like storylines from back in the day. Yeah, this is like my growing up
Back in the
story.
day.
Anthony, you know who you really would have liked to watch?
Huh.
What's his name? Stephen Amell actually, he did WWE at one point, like
Yeah,
as the
he
Green
has-
Arrow.
He actually
Did you ever
did
see that?
I did not, but Steven, he did a series called The Heel that talks about like wrestling and the whole like dynamic where the heel is the villain of like a story arc, and so like as a heel you get people are cheering for your defeat, but they guys are kind of want you to be like kind of like a villainy kind of rule. So it's a very fun like twist on the whole like wrestling story, because you think of the heroes in wrestling, but like if there's a hero, there has to be a heel. See,
One of
I
the
learned
things
things
that
about wrestling.
One of the things that I thought was cool about Stephen Amell when he did that, I don't remember the name of the guy that he fought, but the guy, so he went to like one of the matches for WWE, and there's this guy that he had quote unquote beef with, right? You know how WWE works, Devante.
Right.
Maybe you do too, Anthony. But anyhow, so he had beef with them, and he like dragged him into the stage to fight with him, and then they started fighting. Like him and the guy that he was supposed to fight teamed up with Steven, and like it was just a wild just fight. And then next thing you know, they're having an actual match, like a tag team match set up for later. And after that, they even brought the guy that Steven had a beef with onto Arrow as a villain to fight against. And I thought that was so cool, that just like how they mix those worlds together.
Entertainment.
Just two worlds of entertainment. That's pretty fun.
Yeah,
definitely cool. WWE was like, I would watch Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown growing up with my dad. Like that was like one of my shows that I sat down and watched with my dad, aside from football and like Sports Center. But those were like the shows that he like allowed me to be in the living room to watch. other than that, I'd have to go to sleep at like 8 or 9 or whatever. And that right at 9, I think.
I didn't know until I started seeing the TikToks of Dominic Mysterio, but they can get kind of a little, how do I want to put it, steamy. Like I saw this one girl who I guess is like trying to win his heart or something like that, and she was like not groping him, she was like straddling him. She actually kissed him at one point, and I was like, bro, what is this? What is going on? Like, are we watching WWE? Are we watching something else? Like, I was just like, what the heck?
You're watching storyline. It's that storyline,
Yeah,
that romance in it, the love tension.
Well, the idea was she was trying to steal him from this girl that she had beef with, and she told the girl, she was like, I'm gonna take everything from you.
It's the drama aspect.
Yeah,
give us the drama too.
Yeah.
Wait, Anthony, what did you watch growing up? I know me and
Alex
are talking about WWE, but
oh man, I went through a pretty fun arc of like what. So I watch cartoons from the age of like super young to like maybe probably like my 10 years old, and then my brother started taking control of like the TV remote. He was into sports, and so like that was so when my brother and I lived together before he went off to college, that was like the longest stint where like I was actively watching like all the sports, like basketball, football,
ESPN.
baseball, ESPN. I would get home from school and just watch like Around the Horn, PTI, run into Sports Center. And then like that was like that was probably when I got most into sports. I knew all about like sports stuff. I knew all the good players were, all the which teams were good, all the draft picks.
That's when you first realized your love for the Eagles, right?
Yeah, I kind of like the Eagles.
I forgot you're an Eagles fan.
My dad's from Philadelphia.
Right? I forget that too.
Dad's from Philadelphia. I think for a while, I always try to figure out which is my favorite like football team. For a while, it's the 49ers because Joe Montana. I love Mr. Joe Montana.
Wait,
Steve
what made
Young,
you choose
Jerry Rice. Those are great 49er players.
What made you choose the Eagles?
My dad's
at the time.
Oh, I mean, my dad's from Philadelphia. So.
Okay, that's just it.
Well,
okay.
The irony is that my dad is the kind of person who loves whatever team in the city he lives in. So when he moved from Philadelphia to Texas, he became like a diehard Cowboys fan. And so like there's a picture of me in like a Cowboys sweatshirt for like a holiday sweatshirt for a holiday party.
You gotta burn that picture.
So then shouldn't you be a Cowboys fan then?
No, the letdowns are real. The letdowns are too real.
Yeah, I feel like I chose the Eagles at a good time where like people were loving to hate the Cowboys, which they still do to this day. People love to hate the Cowboys, and so like when I started watching
the Eagles now too.
Yeah, that's true. But like for me, like I've gotten past that. Like I need to find a team that I really like. I just remember watching like Tony Romo and then a little bit of Drew Bledsoe era of football.
Okay.
So those are some good days, and then pivoted to the Eagles. But funny enough, I do like the Mavericks. Mavericks and the Rockets are my home teams for basketball.
You gotta choose
Okay.
one. They're both from Texas.
I think I would choose the Rockets only because they had Yao Ming when I was watching basketball. Hey man,
That's a
you
good pick.
don't
That's
see
a good
many
pick.
Asian people in the NBA.
Yeah, you had
stand
James
by.
Harden on the Rockets too at one point, so that's a good pick.
Yeah. I remember Tracy McGrady, Yao Ming.
Yeah.
I would play them on NBA 2K5. That was the best.
How you feel about the Rangers and the Cowboys?
Rangers. I didn't get into baseball too much. The Rangers were fine. You know, like I wasn't. I didn't watch too much baseball. I think I got traumatized when my brother played Little League baseball. And
Yeah.
as a kid, so I would just go over to the baseball diamond, and I would be so bored out of my mind because baseball is not a fun sport
didn't
to
know
watch.
Your brother played baseball
Yeah, he
or
played
baseball
baseball.
at a young age. Oh,
He played Little League.
Did he
and-
play it for a long time, or was it just a couple years?
3-4 years. So
oh.
in
so
retrospect,
you played for a
no,
while.
but as a little kid who's like 8 years old, that's a pretty long time. That's like half
Yeah.
my lifespan.
At that point for you, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I think I got traumatized from baseball, so I never really actively watched baseball. But my mom loved baseball. She liked watching the College World Series.
Yeah.
So,
I didn't know y'all were a baseball family.
Hmm.
Well, not
Yeah.
you, but your mom and
you know,
brother.
sports runs deep. My mom loves
see.
watching College World Series, Little League World Series.
I just learned something new, dude. You never told me.
It's
I
funny.
still
'cause
wish you would have played football with us, Anthony. That would have been so
Yeah,
fun.
our friendship probably would have started
No.
sooner if you would have played.
I'm glad I
real.
did not play football in high school for too much. I don't think
That's
I would have
okay.
survived. I think I enjoyed
Nah, you
my
would've been
peaceful
us.
existence.
You would have
You
been
would
with
have
us.
been just fine. We
You
would
would've
have
been peaceful
brought
with
you
us.
in.
Yeah. I don't know. Just talking about baseball kind of reminds me of like a fun story. So there was a while when I was like, look, this is the era, the transition period where like I wanted to watch Power Rangers, but my brother wanted to watch sports. And so I think it was like a Thursday night, or I think a Sunday night. It was Sunday night. And the Power Rangers series I was watching, they were doing a special episode. And if it was like, I think it was like a crossover episode, or like it was like a big collab episode where all the Power Rangers joined together from like different generations. I
Yeah.
really, really wanted to watch that. But guess what time it started at?
Oh no.
Right when
game-
PTI comes on.
This is
Oh.
on Sunday night.
Oh, a
That
football
game started at, the show started at 7:30 p.m. And so my brother was like, "No, we're watching football." And so I was upset. I think that was the one time I actively like complained to my mom that my brother was just like hogging the TV remote because I really wanted to watch the crossover
It's
episode.
fair.
Yeah, so
Football
what happened?
game's
Did you
like
get to watch
2
it?
hours long, and Power Rangers is what 30
It was
minutes.
probably 30. Yeah, it was
max?
probably a 30-minute special
Yeah.
that I really wanted to watch. But I
You
think
didn't get to watch it.
I did not get. I think I got to watch it eventually as a rerun because my
Was
brother.
it the Red Rangers?
I think so.
Was it
like
that the one?
I mean, it's always Red Ranger as like a crossover. But I just remember my brother was like, "Oh, they'll always do reruns of Power Rangers. They won't do reruns of a football game." And I was like,
That's true.
"Damn, that's true." Unless you watch it like
Well,
on
you
NFL
did see the
channel.
highlights. The highlights.
Yeah, but you want to watch the whole game.
Dang, he's a diehard fan.
I don't
That
think
is
I don't even think
hard.
it was a team he cared about. I think just the act of watching football that he
Yeah, he
wanted
just
to do.
tried to piss off his little brother. That's all that was.
Yeah,
I know that
for real.
feeling. I know that feeling, so it's all right.
Yeah, that's a good point. Can relate to that.
Dude, speaking of pissing off little brothers,
You piss off yours. recently?
I don't even know if I want to. Nah, for some reason, I haven't pissed off Devin in a long time, but for some reason, every time I have like a nightmare a nightmare dream,
Yeah.
like or my little brother, his name is Devin Leviction. He's usually in my dream, but he's always mad at me. Like I don't know why. Like he's always like he's mad at me in my dream. I know it's like a nightmare, like when I wake up because he was mad at me. Because I have no reason. There's no reason for him to be mad at me now. But like in my dreams, he'll always be mad at me, and I will wake up and I'll be like, I'll be in a sad mood because I'm like, why is he mad at me? You know. But that's just something that I've had for a while now, and I don't know why. But I told that to him too, and he's like, I ain't mad at you. I just love you, and I was like, I know that, but I don't know why my mind thinks that you're always angry at me.
Isn't it like
Subconscious, man.
yeah, the subconscious dream is like you're guilty. You feel guilty of something towards your brother, therefore you dream that he's angry at you because you think you deserve to be angry at to be
One day,
him mad at you.
y'all are gonna have to come back and clip this and then add it to a part 2 because I will not tell the story tonight, but one day you'll hear the story of me and Devin and how we became stronger brothers.
Stronger
afterwards.
brothers.
Okay. Okay.
So to be continued. Find out next time.
On
Sure.
growing up part 2, or just like our childhood stories part 2.
I do see a question in the comments that I'm gonna go ahead and just address real quick. So Pivo18 asked, "What's the best season of Power Rangers?" And I think my favorite is probably gonna be Time Force. If I had to pick one,
That's a good one.
Time Force, otherwise Mighty Morphin. But yeah, I really like Time Force.
Did you
growing up.
watch all of Mighty Morphin?
I did.
Everyone always says Mighty Morphin's their favorite, but I was like, have you actually watched all the Mighty Morphin? Those
Yeah,
are a
I mean-
struggle to watch sometimes.
I've seen if I can, I don't know if I can say I remember it perfectly, but I'm pretty confident that I've seen most, if not all of it. Like before they had Tommy, after they had Tommy, when Tommy had to become the White Ranger, when they had to replace the Red, Yellow, and Black Ranger, and then just all the way leading up to where they became
Zeo.
Zeo.
Mhm.
Exactly.
I didn't really watch Power Rangers growing up.
Did you
the
watch
only
the
Power
Japanese
Rangers
version?
Yeah, I was about to
Super
say the only one
Sentai.
I probably watched was the Japan one with like Ultraman, like alongside that, and Kamen Rider. Those are
Kamen Rider.
probably the top 3 at the time.
My
But outside
roommate in
that-
college watched Kamen Rider.
It was
The new
good.
stuff. Yeah, it looked pretty good.
He's like the common superhero, like very common. Like you just find him on the streets on the bicycle.
I think I remember. I think I was a kid growing up during Time Force, and then I also remember watching a little bit of Lightspeed Rangers. I had the action figure for the Green Ranger for Lightspeed, but I think the one that like really stuck with me a lot was like Dino Thunder.
Oh, that's
Dino
a
Thunder,
good
that
one.
I just remember that
Trio?
one so fondly. Is Dino Thunder or Ninja Storm were my like the ones I just remember so much.
Dude, I'm still trying to picture little Anthony with the Green Ranger in his hand, being like, "Hey, look at my action figure."
I actually have I think now we're talking about Power Rangers. I kind of want to know to another fun like childhood story of mine. So
Yeah.
for a while, my mom thought I was colorblind.
Oh,
It's
Oh
why?
no.
Yeah. So, but this is like when I was like, probably 3 or 4 or 5 years old. This is like before like first grade.
Yeah.
But I went to my brother's friends. Like my brother's friend had like a swimming party, and so because I'm not young enough to stay home by myself, my mom took my brother, me with my brother, and the water was a little too deep for me to go in, so I kind of like did a little bit of water, but then I went to go play in like the kids like playroom, and in there he had like action figures for all of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And for some strange reason, to this day, I do not know what was going on in my mind, but I had an extreme like an attachment to the pink Power Ranger action figure.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
And
I think every boy had an attachment to the pink Power Ranger.
here's a catch though. I kept calling that pink Power Ranger the blue Power Ranger.
Oh no!
And so I was tell my mom like I'd want the blue Power Ranger, so she would bring me the blue Power Ranger. She'll bring me Billy Cranston. I'm like, I don't want this piece of shit. So I would throw it on the ground.
Throw it on the ground.
And
You
go
just didn't
grab
know
the
what
pink
pink
Ranger.
was, or you didn't know the color pink.
I
Or
don't
what?
know. Yeah, maybe I was at the age where I just didn't know like my colors too well. So I kept calling the pink Ranger the blue Ranger. So I kept wanting the pink Ranger, and so it was so bad. And like it's funny that I'm not a spoiled person now, but as a kid I was super spoiled, and so I complained so much. And like, it's a pink Ranger. No boy plays with Pink Ranger, and so the mom of my brother's friend just gave me the pink Power Ranger. And so for a while, I was doing a garage sale, and back in Fort Worth, and I found the pink Power Ranger, like the
Oh,
action
you had
figure
it.
still,
You
yeah.
still
I
have
mean,
it?
I don't think I have any more. I think I donated it, but it was like fading. It was like
Aw.
you know,
Why, Andy?
yeah, I kind of donated it.
I got Toy Story away.
Yeah, it did.
Basically,
You know,
hopefully
did it
it found a
wrong.
new life. I've seen Toy Story 3. I've seen daycares.
Hey, some of them get detached.
They get detached. Yeah.
R.I.P.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. But I think that story is only relevant because we're talking about Power Rangers. And so I kind of want to throw it in there.
Nah, dude, I have a story.
Yeah.
It kind of gets dark, but dude, during so this was during elementary school. Was it kindergarten, first grade? When did 9/11 happen? And
First grade.
2001.
probably first grade
Yeah.
then.
First grade.
Yeah, and I remember like being in the classroom, and I don't know what your experience was like, but I remember being in the classroom and everybody was going home. Everybody but me.
Oh,
and so I'm in the classroom with the teacher, and
You're
my
upset.
teacher is like, and this is like it's an engraved memory because I just remember the teacher being so frantic, and she's like, "Oh no, we got to get home. Like we got to get to a safe place." And we're in Texas, like nowhere near New York, but we're in Texas, and I remember everybody's going home, and like the school's on shutdown, and I remember I'm like, I don't know what's happening at the time, but I'm like, is my parents gonna come? And I'm asking the teacher that, and she's like, I don't know. And so I spend the rest of the day with this teacher, and she's like, all right, it's time to go. And then I get on the bus, and I'm like the only person. It's just me and the bus driver at this point. Like I get on the bus, and I just remember like that day just being empty. Like it was just an empty day because all my friends got to go home. Everybody's parents showed up, and I'm like, where's my parents? And growing, and this kind of relates to our conversation here. Growing up, like we didn't live in the best of circumstances. My family, and so we had like one car, and my mom, she didn't have a job. She had just came from Japan, like an immigrant parent. But my dad, like he was working a full-time job, and so like my dad is probably at work while like the world is going to shambles, like it's on fire, or US is on fire, and I'm over here worried about, is my parents gonna come pick
I
me
go
up?
home early, like all my friends.
Yeah, am I gonna get to go home early to watch cartoons? Like all my other friends.
Yeah.
But I didn't. That day, I walked home by myself. Usually, my mom picks me up. For some reason, she didn't pick me up that day. I just remember walking into the like I knocked on my door, and then she like let me in, and then I don't remember what happened after that. But I just remember it up until the door, like it was just a sad, empty, lonely day. I was just like, all my friends got to go home, but like I'm thinking like a kid,
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking, dang, they get to go home, go be free, go play, get to watch anime or cartoons, go have snack time with their parents, and I'm almost over here like, okay,
Yeah.
Alex,
but that was just a memory of 9/11 for me.
Alex, do you remember 9/11?
No, I don't remember it in the slightest bit, actually.
Dang.
Like, I just
Probably
remember what
best
the
that
history
way.
books tell me. Yeah, no, I couldn't tell you what happened that day. Like,
Isn't
where
it,
we
like-
were, which class, or what.
Yeah, is it the saying where like if you don't remember 9/11, you're not like a millennial? Is it you're not a Gen Z? You're not a millennial? What's the
You're not a
cutoff?
millennial. You're not a millennial,
You're
yeah.
not a millennial if you don't
Because
know.
my brother is like the start of well, no, actually, I think the Gen Z starts after 97 is the year. I looked it up the other day.
It's
So
like right after
97.
us. Yeah.
Yeah. So
So-
2 years younger than us.
So what generation are we?
We're the tail end of millennial.
Millennial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Non-degenerates.
I just know that
and
like
then and then after Gen Z, I think it's Generation Alpha. And
yeah,
then,
Gen Alpha,
and then when my kid comes around, they're gonna be Generation Beta.
Gen Beta. That's
Yeah,
fun.
they're gonna be the oldest
a
for
beta.
that. It's literally the next generation starts in 2025.
Gotcha.
You get called a beta.
The beta male. Oh no!
probably will.
Don't say those.
We'll have to
things.
see if it's a beta male. Who
Don't
knows?
say those. Don't say that.
Hey, that'd be
Um,
sad. They'll all be betas though. That's okay.
Betas.
This is true. This is true.
I think it was like I heard a phrase. It was like our generation, like us, like the three of us, like we were born in the 90s, but we were like raised by the 2000s era.
Yeah,
So
I
like
believe
we're
that.
just like used to 2000s cartoon, 2000s like
Hey, early
rock
2000s
music.
music. Yeah, bangers.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Dude, speaking of which, this is like another. This kind of going back to like the age question of like, So I told you a story about me going to a concert where like I felt like age check on the underscale. I went to another concert. This is a couple months back where I went to go see a Fall Out Boy cover band. And that one I felt age check on the upper end because a lot of people around me, they were probably born in like the early 90s or even like the mid 85. Like a lot of people were like a lot older generation than me. But sometimes people would look at me like, oh, that's so cool that like All American Rejects. And I was like, yeah, these are the songs that I grew up with in the 2000s. And so it's fun to be.
Darkness strikes tonight. All right.
Wait.
Sorry. We're gonna get
That's
copyright.
not
Darkness turns
to
to light, bro.
Yeah.
No, it's gonna strike tonight.
Oh man, you can say it your way, brother.
I want to get copyright.
Uh-huh.
No, you get
We gotta
copyright.
change it up a bit.
We
okay.
sing so off key that we won't get copyright.
Yeah,
Thanks
it's
for the
not good
low
enough for that. Don't worry.
Thanks for the low keyness. But continue.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that's funny. Man,
Wait,
you got
what?
me. You remember whenever they released that music video with Kim Kardashian, Anthony? Thanks for the
No.
memories.
Oh,
yeah,
the
Fall Out Boy.
That was
Yeah.
My experience with Thanks for the Memories came from Madden 2000, like Madden 2K6 or 2006. You know,
Was
I
it was
remember-
that the title intro screen?
I think so. It was one of the songs they had on the game was Fall Out Boy Thanks for the Memories.
Yeah.
Because they usually have
nice.
bangers on
Those
Madden.
Madden games, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I played a
really good
franchise mode and I would just like not for superstar mode and I would just like listen to like the emo punk music.
Yeah. Background is playing.
Yeah, hell yeah.
This might be a little random, but I'm curious. Who was y'all's crush growing up? Like, who was that celebrity that you're like, oh man, she's so pretty?
Okay.
Celebrity crush?
How about you go
Yeah,
first,
celebrity
Alex?
crush growing up.
You go
Me
first.
first?
Yeah. You ask a question.
Ooh.
Gotta be ready to answer.
Probably Selena Gomez.
Selena Gomez? I mean,
Yeah.
she's our age
Yeah.
though, so like, okay, I guess that makes sense. You have a
But
crush
she
on
was
someone
still a
who's like our age.
celebrity. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah,
Was it a
Selena
Waverly
Gomez.
Place, huh?
Wizards of Waverly Place.
That was
I
that was a
definitely
good
would
show.
tune in for that one. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like that show.
Yeah. Very good show.
For me, I always liked older women. So
Dang. Got the cougar life.
mine will always probably be Olivia Wilde.
Oh,
Olivia
Olivia
Wilde.
Wilde.
Yeah,
Wait,
I
what did
genuinely
you-
Good one.
have a
what would
crush,
you have
yeah.
watched
That's
in
a good one.
in your early 2000s with Olivia Wilde in it?
I don't
You
know. I
watch
think
House?
I don't know. I did watch House actually.
Oh, maybe.
House was a really
Sure.
good show. That was one of the
Yeah.
one of the shows I watched with my dad. House in 24.
House in
on
24.
Fox,
Oh,
right?
man.
Yeah, those are
Yeah,
pretty good.
she was
Keith
she was in
Sutherland.
house, so
Yeah,
Interesting.
I thought she was very. I was like, oh, she's a very attractive person.
yeah,
That's probably
she's-
my
she's
celebrity
beautiful
crush.
for sure. Yeah, Chelsea and I talked about her and we
Olivia
watched House. I was like, "Who's that?" She's like, "Oh, it's Olivia Wilde." I was like, "Oh, that's Olivia Wilde." I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, she's pretty."
then
She's like,
the-
"Oh yeah, she's gorgeous."
And then the
Oh,
internet
yeah.
turned on her after like for the movie she directed, the one with Harry Styles and Florence Pugh.
I saw
I
that
heard, yeah.
movie.
They turned on
heard
and it turned on
about
her quick. They're like, oh, look at Olivia Wilde. She's like X, Y, and Z. I'm like, damn, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, right.
Pivot.
Did you see that movie?
I did not see that movie. I read the plot of it though, and, and it was good. I read the plot of it, like, oh man, I think they just ruined a perfectly good premise.
Yeah, I got spoiled on TikTok on that one, but it
Nice.
was still a good movie.
That's good. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll give it a watch.
Yeah, who's Anthony's?
My celebrity crush was Jessica Alba from
Jessica
Oh,
Alba.
yeah.
Okay,
I think
He saw Fantastic
Yeah,
Four
Fantastic
one time,
Four.
and he saw
knew
her
what
taking off
Fantastic
those
Four
clothes. It
one
was
more
like,
time.
He
oh
knew
my
what he wanted.
gosh.
He knew what he wanted.
Fantastic Four. I think that is like on the spot. That was the movie that I was like, wow, yeah, A Visible Woman, Fantastic Four, and Jessica Alba, thumbs up.
Into the Blue.
I watched a little bit of Into the Blue. Yeah, I
Yeah.
I think it's one of the things where like I didn't like
Oh,
I didn't
man.
like watch her entire filmography because she took a break from like acting and like in the late 2010s.
Right.
I'm glad y'all didn't say the stereotypical actors.
Who?
Angelina Jolie.
Angelina Jolie.
I mean, she's pretty, but
her sharp facial features scared me as a kid. I'll be honest
Yeah.
with you.
I see.
if I had to pick like an older woman for my childhood, it would have been Natalie Portman, though.
From Star Wars.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Natalie Portman, and that one stuck around for a hot minute.
Yeah,
Honestly, I
she's-
still think she's pretty to this day, but you know.
I think for me, Night Apartment, Night Apartment was good for Amidala. But I think after watching Leon the Professional, when I saw her as like a kid, I was like, damn man, I don't think that kid, that's a violent kid. Yeah.
Yeah, but for sure, like growing up, there's another instance. Um, back in back in middle school. Do y'all remember your middle school days?
Sure. I mean, depends what the question is.
Actually,
That's when I
let me
that's when I
ask you
became
guys.
best friends with Anthony.
We were just talking about, who is our celebrity crush. Do you guys remember your first crush?
First
Yes.
crush? Yeah, I do actually.
Anthony knows who.
How
Well, he
early-
might not
how
know who it is,
early-
but he knows who the girl is.
For
How early was that,
your
you
first
know?
crush? I don't. You have to text it to me because I actually don't remember who your first crush was.
So you don't know the name, but like if I told you, you'd remember them.
Yeah, if you told me their name, I'll remember their face easily.
Spoiler alert: it was Anthony. Just kidding. No.
Anthony was your first crush.
Yeah, right. No. My first crush. If it helps, they were blonde and they were very sporty, and they may or may not have had another person that looked like them at school.
Did
You
you,
can
like?
you can kind of guess from there.
Yeah, I know you're talking to you now. Now my curiosity is which one of them. And you can just text me. We need to dox this person on the internet. They're probably
sure.
living their
Wait,
great life.
when was this? When was this?
This
Middle
was
school?
Middle school. Yeah.
Okay.
But like when
Middle
middle
school?
school? Was it like end of middle school or like more of like the
Well-
sixth grade energy?
Well, to be honest, I had a crush on them like probably when we were like really young, like 5, 6. But then like time passed and then I didn't really care as much. But then
Yeah, you
I
grew
kinda
up.
started getting interested again as we got older. But then like I never tried or did anything, obviously. So what was the question, Devante?
He just wanted to know what our
Uh,
crushes were.
I just wanted to know, like, when did you have your first crush?
Yeah, so like really early ages, like just like 6-ish, 5-ish. Although if you ask my mom, she'll tell you it was this one girl that I walked. So like, and when I was like 2 or 3, I played soccer, right? And
Mhm.
when I was 2 or 3, I didn't know
Little
how to
Alex
play
playing
soccer. So all I did, instead of actually like run around and kick the ball, I took this one girl's hand on my team,
Nice.
and we just walked around the field the
Cute.
entire time talking.
Dang.
We just
That's
held
soccer?
hands and
Balls,
talked.
you were growing balls. I see.
Hey, apparently she loved it, but then apparently I don't know what happened, but my mom said she like the girl did something to me. Maybe kicked me in the balls on accident with like the soccer ball, and like
Love at
after
first
that,
sight.
no,
You
after
need someone to
that
put
I
him in his
got really
place.
mad at her. I got really mad at her, and I like took
Ah.
my hand away, and I said, "No, you can't hold my hand anymore." And I walked off.
Dang, that's you
Dang,
heartbreaker.
man. He broke hearts and grew some balls. Damn. You got
Oh,
2 for 1 that day.
yeah.
He got
Anthony,
both balls.
Anthony, I gotta ask though,
Hmm.
is yours who I think it is?
Depends. Who do you think it is?
You know who I'm thinking.
Probably, yeah. I think that's my first crush. Yeah,
Okay.
When was it?
8th grade. Yeah, 8th
Oh,
grade.
then
8th grade.
yeah. So it wasn't your first girlfriend, but the other one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why
I
are
know
you phrasing it like, oh, like your first girlfriend? Oh, okay.
I'm just making sure. I'm just making sure.
That's something you want to tell
All
us,
right,
man?
Devante. You know we have to ask the same question to you. Do you remember your first crush?
Oh yeah, I remember.
Is it
It was
was she an older
actually,
woman?
No. My first real crush was probably back in middle school. And it was like 8th grade. And I remember I had liked her from 7th grade. In middle school it's like you can go 6th, 7th, 8th was the grades that would be set together. And so I remember I liked her from 7th to 8th grade. And in 8th grade I grew a pair and then asked her out, and I got denied,
Oh,
but in a weird way.
I guess that's
and-
Devante's villain
It's a
story.
caveat. That's a caveat. Yeah, it's she like denied me by saying like at the time I went. I hate the preface, but at the time I went to I went to a middle school in the hood.
Yeah.
And
I know
so
the school.
because I went to the middle school in the hood, I I'm not trying to flaunt or anything, but I had better grades than most people, and so I
Right.
was at the top of my class. And when I asked her, what she said was, "Devante, you're too good for me." And like at the
Oh,
time, I didn't know what she meant. I was just at the time, I just took it as rejection.
yeah.
Yeah.
You heard
Because
the
she
no
didn't
and
say
your brain
yes.
shut off.
Like it was just a no. And so I was just like, okay. But then the thing was, like, I at the time I felt that I asked her so like maybe I asked her too casually, and so I didn't really like think anything of it. Like when she said, uh, like no afterwards, like I was like, okay, like I know that she said no, but like what did she mean by I'm too good for
Too
her?
good.
And
Hold
so
on,
like
Devontae. I gotta say what I was thinking.
Okay.
When you were saying, you were like, I thought about it, and I thought he was gonna be like, I am too good for you.
Too good. Yeah. Yeah. I know my work.
No,
I didn't think
Screw
none
her,
of
get
that
out of
even
the
like
way.
crossed my mind at the time. Like now that you mention it, I guess I don't know. My at the time, like eighth grade Devante is not the same Devante as I am today. Like I was,
Yeah.
super
No, yeah,
downcast
I
back in the day.
remember. I remember seeing you in your little glasses back in the
Yeah,
day.
I was at my Arthur days.
Arthur
My
days.
little glasses, my beady eyes behind those glasses. I'm just like, hey. And the worst part is I'm on the phone, right? Like I'm dissing myself, but I'm on the phone and I'm like, because I can't drive to her place. I don't have a car. I'm in eighth grade,
Oh, you
and
asked her over the phone.
I wasn't gonna do it at the school because I have to catch the bus.
Yeah. It's not,
But
it's not cool to ask someone to have run catch the bus.
yeah, and I didn't take any of the I only took one class with her, and that was JCC, like Junior
Nice.
Cadet Corps,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so like I would see her every day, and I was the cock. They call it the cock, the COC, the commander of cadets.
Ah,
But I would see her every day. But then like I didn't. Whenever I saw her the next day, like nothing. It wasn't any different. Like it wasn't awkward or like none. Our friendship didn't change. Like for good or bad. She just treated it normal. And so like that was my first rejection. And we're good friends afterwards. We're still good friends, but it was more like a blip, in the system.
and then after that, Devontae just never tried ever again. He's like, "This is what
Dude,
trying
for
gets
real.
me." Gets you
For
rejected.
real.
Almost tried one more time in high school. I mean, y'all know who. I almost tried one more time senior year of high school.
Oh wait, I think I know
Wait,
who.
did you
Yeah, but
almost
I won't
try or
say
try?
anything, but I think I know who.
I mean, y'all know she. I mean, she was my prom date. But
Yeah,
Okay, well he
Um,
said it, not me. I know who. I
well,
thought that's who I thought it was. Yeah.
yeah.
but
She was
even
my
then,
prom
though,
date.
I'm pretty sure. Like, I think we told us, like, you're someone else basically forced you to ask her to the prom.
No, she.
That
So that-
story's pretty good, isn't
I'll
it?
I'll tell you the story too. So
This will be
me
the
and
last
her
story,
worked-
and then we're
Yeah, this
gonna
will probably
wrap
be the-
up the episode.
Sounds good. And so me back in high school, I used to work at this sushi restaurant that's no longer around. But the owner, he was my mom's friend, and so he hired me, and I worked there for a bit. And then senior year, she started working there, and while we're both working there, one day he asked her, "Hey, isn't prom around the corner?" And she's like, "Yeah, yeah." And he's like, "You have any?" He's trying to riz it up, and he's like, "You have any dates or you have any person that you have in mind?" She's like, "No, I'm just gonna go with some friends. But if someone's around, I would love to, take them as well." And then
He's
he's
a
like,
real wingman.
"Yeah, for real, he is." And well, at the time, I was gonna go with my homie JT, as we always, call him out
Yeah.
on here.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
she so he asked me, "Hey Devante, who are you going with?" And I'm like, "I'm just going with some friends. I don't have a date. I wasn't gonna ask anybody." And then he's like, "Oh, I know someone who's open." And as soon as he said that, like I looked at her, like I just looked at her, and then like her face grew up. And I looked back at him, and his face was like
Dude.
like you now you got to do
That
the part,
sounds so
you got to do the
staged.
rest.
That
And,
sounds
and so
staged.
and so I literally turned back and I'm like, "Hey, we should go to prom together." And I mean, at the time,
Yeah.
I didn't mind because she's attractive, and I wanted to get to know her, right? And so that's why I was like, "All right, I will take this opportunity and I will ask her right here." And
I'm
then
surprised she didn't
the
have
second-
someone ask her before you, to be honest.
That's what I'm saying.
She was a pretty girl.
Yeah,
But the question is, do you
And
think someone asked her? She said no to that person.
she might have?
Because I
Couldn't
know
tell you.
I know a few guys who would have asked her. I think, I have to imagine I
Well,
would have asked her.
it seems like I was the first one to ask her then.
Oh,
You
I
know,
don't think so.
I
I think it's
actually-
all staged. I think she long conned it, worked at the same restaurant as you two just so that she can get her foot in the door,
At the
talk to the chef,
No.
and
Why are
be
you
like,
hyping me up?
let's layer these plans. Let's sync this up.
Why are you
I-
hyping your boy up right now?
I had a couple of clauses with there, Anthony. I don't think she'd go that kind of like to do that.
Hey,
She's
man.
definitely the kind of like kind
My
of
wife
girl where
right
the
now
boy
is
has to
like,
come to
his
her,
head.
not her go to the boy.
Because I guess like the boy who went up to her was like kind of sus. So I remember that.
Right.
Yeah,
Wow.
I knew her too. I think I had class with her. And then like one time, some guy was like talking. She definitely did not want him to keep talking to her. So we made eye contact, and as person to person, we were like, okay, I got your back. I got your back.
Right.
Right. Yeah, she was cool. I had
But I did-
geometry with her.
To preface, I did later make like a poster,
Cute.
and I actually made an origami flower, and then it said,
Cute.
and then I like drawed out "Will you go to prom with me" on it,
Ooh,
and I like put the flower through the paper.
that's a
and
fun
whatnot and
conversation
showed
to
her.
have. We should do.
Surprised you didn't do a magic trick.
That's what I did for
I-
my
I-
prom.
I was at the time I was like, I do this for everybody else, so I should do something different for her.
Anthony, remind me. Vaguely remember who you went with to
Yeah,
prom, but what she? How did we know her other than ASA?
That's
I
just through ASA.
Just through
Yeah, it
ASA.
was through
I mean,
ASA.
I knew her from other stuff too, but like y'all know her from ASA. ASA
Yeah.
stood for Asian Student Association. It's the club that essentially me and Devante and JT ran unofficially, but officially.
Literally.
No one else would do anything. We did everything for that club.
And we're with the teacher at the time.
Has even let me show up now and then, and
Did.
as we can tell, I'm clearly not Asian.
We couldn't be racist. We can't say no.
We're
You're Asian.
inclusive.
You can't join our club. It's the
All
definition of
inclusive,
racism. At its
I don't think I
finest.
ever did officially join. I think I just showed up, and you guys were like, "Oh, hey, Alex."
Yeah, it's fine.
More the merrier.
But I think
Yeah.
we should definitely talk about our prom stories and just how we ask people to prom as a whole episode, because
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's a fun conversation to have, at least on my side of behind the scenes.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right. Well,
We
with
can have
that,
conversation.
we're going to end our episode for the week. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learn more about my friends and I, because I definitely learned a few things about my friends. Didn't realize Devante was a huge WWE fan. That's cool.
Yeah.
Just,
Right. I never knew that either.
So, before we end the show, I just want to give a shout out to JT, our designer. He kind of designed these graphics, and we're still using them today because we still love them. It looked really, really good. We look very professional, which is great. I want to give a shout out to Leviction for our intro and our outro music. He actually released his own EP that's on Spotify right now. Devante, do y'all remember the name of Leviction's EP?
believe it's Dreams, correct?
No, that was one of the
That's
songs.
that's one of his singles.
A
Yeah.
single? Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Devante. I'll let you handle it then.
Actually, I don't know off the top of my head,
We'll-
but he
we'll
had
put-
lots of songs
yeah.
in there.
We'll put the name of his EP in a video
Yeah.
description for everywhere. So just listen to it. It's really good. 6 songs, phenomenal songs. Extra song on his SoundCloud, which we'll link as well. Just a friendly reminder, we are going to be addressing comments after our episode, but that will not be a part of our weekly podcast. Again, these episodes will come out Tuesday of following next week, and then we'll be back Thursday with a new topic that you guys won't really know about until you listen. So please join us next week.
The show.
Anything
Oh,
y'all want to add?
By the way, Devin's album EP is called "Sorry for the Delay."
Yes. Sorry for the delay. Phenomenal EP.
There we go.
Loved it. Please give it a listen. Support Leviction. He's a phenomenal artist. Alex,
Yeah, he
anything
is.
to pub before we head out?
I'm just going to say thank you to everyone who showed up today. As always, we appreciate your love and support, and we look forward to seeing you guys next week.
All right.
Sounds good.
Sounds good, everyone.
Bye,
See
everybody.
you later.